First at 6, a legal battle heating up in one of St. Louis's most popular areas. I'm Corey Stark. It is over efforts to save a home that was built before the Civil War. Now, many Kirkwood residents are banding together to save history, saying this is about preserving what is being lost. That home at the center of this is on North Taylor Avenue at the corner of Swan. Many of the Kirkwood residents wanting to save it tell me they are not against progress. They just don't want landmarks erased.
I think that we are at a crossroads in Kirkwood where we have a number of beautiful old homes left that we can still preserve what charm we have left.
Erin Mariscal is one of the people taking legal action against Kirkwood and the new owners of this historic home on North Taylor Avenue. She started an online petition that got more than 1,500 signatures, hoping to stop a teardown.
This home is both in an historic district and is an historic home.
In an application for demolition, the new owners who bought the property last year said after multiple talks with engineers and architects, it's not feasible to modernize the home through renovation and a full teardown is needed. Mariscal says the owners should have realized that before buying.
As soon as you walk into it, you have to open the front door that has a plaque stating that this is a landmark home for our community, that you should stop and think maybe the neighbors around here love this home.
All along North Taylor, there is a mix of old homes and new construction. And it's some of the people that live on this very street that have filed this lawsuit working to save this home that was built in 1858.
Attorney Jay Burns is representing those Kirkwood residents. He says the petition to demolish the 168-year-old home has gone through the review process with Kirkwood's Landmarks Commission. The commission had 270 days to make a decision. Well, that timeline expired on February 23rd.
They took no action on this petition, the demolition petition. They didn't vote yes or no. They didn't deny it. They didn't approve it. They just did nothing. When the Landmarks Commission takes no action on a petition, it's deemed approved, meaning that the property can be demolished.
Now Burns has appealed that inaction, hoping the Kirkwood City Council takes up the issue and takes a closer look at its own laws. Burns has also filed a temporary restraining order to stop any demolition until the council hears the case.
People in other historic districts have not stood up and said, why is this happening? Why are we saying that as a landmark commission, as a city, that we can't tell someone not to come destroy a beloved landmark?
Well, we can tell you there is a court hearing next week on this matter. The demolition permit has not been approved at this point. I did reach out to the city of Kirkwood, but leaders will not comment because this is pending litigation. I also reached out to the owners of the home, but did not hear back.